Episode 7 of Jack and Joker begins with Jack and Joke rushing Grandma to the hospital. Jack panics and Joke holds his hand and assures him he is not alone. It has been 3 hours and the specialist hasn't yet arrived to check on her. She doesn't have insurance either, and just to get her checked up, the bill is extremely high. While Jack gets her admitted, Joke begs his dad to check on her as he works in the same hospital. However, his dad pretends not to know him. Jack tries to withdraw all of his investment money, but Save claims he will lose half of it. Save feels guilty and wants to apologize, but Jack goes on about how he is a good friend. At that moment, Boss arrives to pay his respects and Jack begs him to give his job back. Well, Boss gives him an offer of a lifetime. There is no job opening now, but Boss is willing to adopt him and even give him his company. The only thing he wants in return is for Jack to do whatever it takes for the company, even if it is to marry the person he picks. Desperate, Jack agrees, and later it is confirmed that Save is indeed in cahoots with Boss. He also tells Boss about Joke and how he is the mastermind in hopes that Hope will be spared. In fact, Jack's stocks are rising and his grandma wouldn't have fallen sick if Boss hadn't given her that medicine. Jack tells Joke, who is upset and tries to change his mind. He reminds him of their promise to start anew, but Jack says it is enough for him if only Joke gets to live a happy life. They hug and Jack hopes Joke will accept him now that he is the one who is going to live like a criminal. It cuts to a week later with Joke being rejected from all the places he has applied due to his criminal record. He scoffs when he sees he can only get low-paying blue-collar jobs. Meanwhile, Boss takes Jack to his first meeting with the 4 influential families of the country, the 4 horsemen. One of them is Rose's, and she is surprised to see him. Boss entrusts Jack in her care so he can learn the ropes, and she is more than happy to do so. At that moment, another heir, Lompern, arrives and is jealous of Jack as he had been promised Rose's hand in marriage. His father reprimands him before suggesting a game for everyone present. The game is Monopoly, and Jack thinks it is childish till he sees that the stakes are each family's territory and very real assets. Even Boss is forced to play and is given only one property, Sufenimit. Boss keeps losing to the point he cannot collect rent for 3 months and everyone mocks him. He lashes out at Jack and says if he goes broke, Grandma cannot be taken care of. This means Jack only has a month to marry Rose so she can negotiate the rent on their behalf. At home, Joke makes dinner and buys beer for Jack, who is too tired. He tries to indulge Joke but ends up going to sleep. The next day, Jack takes Rose to the Sufenimit area where the thugs all respect him and the street vendors are friendly. Joke is working as a water carrier and accidentally drops one. Jack comes to his rescue and they share a moment before Joke notices Rose and walks off. Tattoo, Hoy and Aaron are eavesdropping on them from a remote toy car as they believe Rose is up to something to get back the necklace. However, she is simply visiting Jack's school, which is still pretty small and lacking facilities. She gifts the kids ice cream and promises gold if they draw their dreams. She notices that everyone's dream is simple, like owning a buffalo or being a nurse. However, Jack points out that they are not dreams but hopelessness, as they don't have the resources to dream big. Joke sadly listens to him from afar. Once they are done, she tries to leave and Jack offers to drive her. She asks if he likes Joke since she noticed the moment between them. However, Jack deflects and claims Joke is just some homeless person who clings to Grandma by doing chores. That night, Jack makes dinner and waits, but Joke never shows up. "How much do you want to bet?" Joke heard the homeless comment. Turns out he did when he was visiting the boys who were eavesdropping on Rose and Jack. Hurt, he gets drunk with them and they all crash at Tattoo's. Hoy realizes he is late for his job as a driver to Nong and runs off. Meanwhile, Tattoo's mom, Jeeb, tries to get them to help with some event that is taking place. Aaron and Tattoo are still asleep, but Joke offers to help. However, the event is hosted by Rose, who is offering a debt-free grant to small businesses. Joke doesn't believe her and creates a scene, even throwing food at Rose. But Jack stops him and has his men drag Joke away. This reaches Boss, who is furious and tells Jack to cut ties with Joke so as not to ruin things with Rose. Jack is confused as to why Boss sees Joke as a threat, but the mobster refuses to explain. Once Jack leaves, we see that it is Save who has been keeping tabs on him for Boss. Save still feels guilty as he is leaving when the vendor attacks him with a knife. He had claimed Boss would help her with a loan but never did. However, Hope swoops in and saves Save. Troubled by all the betrayals, he tells Hope that he wants to run away alone but covers it up as a joke. Meanwhile, Nong visits Boss and he asks her about the fall of the horsemen. She reads his fortune and claims one of the horsemen will fall. There will be a big shift soon and Boss is pivotal to it. It seems they have been working together to get their hands on the horseman's ring which controls the country. But when she leaves, it seems that she is also two-timing Boss as she tells Hoy that her fortune-telling is just a strategy of saying what the person wants to hear. That night, Jack is once again waiting for Joke who finally arrives, but confronts him about the homeless comet. Jack lashes out and tells him to stop interfering so that Rose doesn't misunderstand them. He goes as far as to say that they aren't anything to each other and claims things have changed. Joke leaves and an upset Jack tells Boss that Joke won't bother him anymore. At the end of Jack and Joker episode 7, Joke visits Grandma who is awake. She notices that he looks upset and he believes he has ruined things. She tells him not to blame himself, but it isn't enough. He tears up as he recalls Jack's words. At the same time, so does Jack as he wishes he could apologize to Joke. Well, as if the angst in the first half of the show wasn't enough, Jack and Joker episode 7 is far from Jack and Joke's happy and dating era. What makes it worse is that Joke believes he is at fault because he couldn't get his dad to help and stop Jack from joining hands with Boss once more. Also, it is funny how there are a couple of older actors who always make the rounds as the dads in such projects. If you didn't recognize them, we are talking about Lomprin and Rose's fathers. If we are not wrong, they were the bad guys in Man Swung 2 as well as the dads in a couple of GMMTV BLs like Bad Buddy, Eclipse, and Only Friends. By the way, we almost would have felt bad for Boss if he hadn't been so greedy and brutal with his sons. All of this started because of his wife's necklace, as he claims that is the only thing he has of hers. But what about Aaron? He is literally their son. Hope our theory that Nong is going to betray Boss comes true. He needs to be knocked down a couple of pegs.